Hello everyone, I welcome you all to my channel, and here we are going to continue the topic electricity which we had stopped at Ohm's law. For just 2 minutes we will revise Ohm's law, then we will go ahead. So children, we have learned Ohm's law in the previous class. What it says, mathematically I am going to write it. This is the mathematical form of the Ohm's law, which says that, what it says, as you increase the potential difference, the current in the circuit also increases, and when you decrease the potential difference, current in the circuit also decreases. And this law is valid under certain conditions, that is, the temperature of the conductor should remain the same. At that condition, as you increase the voltage or the potential difference, the current in the circuit also increases. Okay, and whereas R here is the resistance here. I have told you in the last class the meaning of resistance. That is, resistance is nothing but it's a property of the material to oppose the flow of charges through it. Okay, means when the electrons are flowing through the conductor, their motion is being obstructed by the material. This action is called resistance. Okay, now here we are going to see this resistance provided by the material depends upon what all factors. Okay, so let's get into that point. See here, so we'll go into little length of the point here. See here, this is a conductor, and you all must be knowing that a conductor has two things in it. One is the positive charge ions, okay, positive ions which are fixed in their position, and also electrons, negatively charged electrons. Okay, so you can see I have taken two conductors of different size. The first one is, the above one is thin, and this one is little thick in size, and these are the electrons presenting. Okay, so you see here we are going to talk about the on what factor does this resistance depends. So first of all, we will know how exactly the resistance is provided by the material. Have a look here. So when I connect a cell here, okay, when I connect a cell, see here, electrons are negative and this is a negative terminal. So negative repulsion occurs. At the same time, this plus minus attracts. So this is how electron starts to flow from negative terminal to the positive terminal. But children, remember, by the convention it has been decided that the direction of current will be taken opposite to the direction of flow of electron, which means the direction of electric current will be from positive terminal to the negative terminal. Okay, so after knowing that, so we will know how is the resistance provided by the material and what factor does it depends. Look here, when the electrons are flowing through the conductor, you know, two things are expected here. Okay, when they are flowing through the conductor, they may collide with among themselves. Okay, the electron collision may happen, and another is that they may collide with this positively charged fixed ion. Okay, due to this collision, what happened, the motion of the electron is obstructed. That is called, this action is called resistance. It is same like on the road we have the speed breakers, right? So when the vehicle is moving over the road, okay, and when it come across a speed breaker, so that speed breaker, it opposes the motion of that vehicle, it obstructs the motion of the vehicle. In the same sense here, when the electrons are flowing through the conductor, their motion is obstructed by these collisions, which is called the resistance. And now we will see on what factor does it depends. Children, see here, if I take a long wire, then what happened? The number of such collisions will be more. If I take a short wire, then the number of such collisions will be less. So what I can say, more the number of collisions between the electrons and with the ions, more will be the resistance offered by it. Yes, and the other way around. So I can write one relation here. Resistance of a conductor is directly proportional to length of the conductor, right? Yes, more the length of the conductor, more such collision occurs and more will be the resistance for the flow of electrons, right? Now, so this is the first point. Second point, see here, just compare here. This is thin and this is thick. Both have the equal number of electrons. Okay. So where do you think electron motion is little smooth? Where the number of collisions may be less? Obviously the second one. It is like a narrow road and it is like a widen up road. Yes. So here the traffic will be more, resistance will be more, right? Here there is a, it is a spacious, means electron collision will be less. Okay. And are you getting my point? Since it is there is a thick wire we have got here, electron movement will be free, number of collisions will be less. So what I can say, the resistance also depends upon the area of cross section. Here, since the road, or you can say the wire is thick, the electron can move freely without having many collisions. Here, since it is very narrow, here the collisions will be more and resistance will be more. So what I can say here, resistance of the wire is inversely proportional to this area of cross section. Means more the area of cross section, less will be the resistance to that conductor, and less the area of cross section, more will be the resistance. See here, as you increase the area of cross section, resistance decreases. When you decrease the area of cross section, resistance increases. This is called the inverse relation. When one quantity is increasing, the other decreases. This is the inverse relation is found here. Okay, this is the second equation we have got. Okay, now it is, you can also connect to the example what I was giving here. Like we have got two roads. Okay, the one is very narrow, the other one is very broader one. So obviously in the broader road, okay, the traffic will be less, easily the people can move. Yes, whereas in the narrow road, same number of people but traffic will be more because of the size. Okay, so the resistance will be more, we can say. So same thing you can connect here. So anyhow, these are the two factors on which the resistance depends. There are another two factors, children. Another is that temperature of the conductor. Means more the temperature of the conductor, more resistance it will provide, and also it depends upon the nature of the material. Means different material provide different amount of resistance. So total 4 are there. So mathematically 2 I have mentioned here, that is resistance directly proportional to the length and inversely to the area of cross section. So from the equation 1 and 2, what I can write is R is directly proportional to length and inversely to the area of cross section. So now it can be solved as R is equals to rho L by A, rho L by A. Now you see here, R is the resistance which depends upon the length and area of cross section, and here it is, how do you read this symbol? Okay, you will read as a rho. Okay, it is a letter of Greek alphabet, and see here, it is nothing but a proportionality constant which has been named as a resistivity. Okay, resistivity. So resistivity it is called. So we'll get to know about that. So this is all about the factors on which resistance of a conductor depends. So now, after knowing about all this, now we will talk a little bit about the resistivity. Okay, and simultaneously we will create the differences between resistance and resistivity. So this formula which we have arrived here, it is very important. Okay, look here. So we have got a formula here, R is equals to rho L by A. Resistance is directly proportional to the length, inversely proportional to the area of cross section, and this is a proportionality constant. So first I will solve the equation for this resistivity, then we will get to that point. See here. Here the relation is division, so when I take it here, it will be a multiplication. RA by L is equals to rho. Yes, means for the resistivity I have solved the equation. Okay, now we will derive the unit from it. See, unit of resistance is ohm. Okay, area is square meter. Okay, length is meter. So mm get cancelled. So what we get? Rho is equals to ohm meter. Means ohm meter is the unit of resistivity. Okay, it is a unit of resistivity. So now we will understand what exactly a resistivity mean. See here, resistivity is nothing but resistance offered by a material of unit volume. See here, try to understand it. It is a resistance offered or provided by a material of unit volume. Unit volume in the sense unit length and unit area of cross section. Understand? Getting the point here? What is resistance and what is resistivity? You have to understand it. I will create the differences. Try to understand the point. Resistance is nothing but the property of the material to oppose or to obstruct the flow of charges through it. Okay. Whereas resistivity is nothing but it is a resistance offered by a material of unit length and unit area of cross section. And the second point of difference is that unit of resistance is ohm, whereas the unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Understand? And resistance depends on the four factors which I have told you, that is length, area of cross section, temperature and nature of material, whereas resistivity depends upon the temperature and nature of material. Okay, so only two facts. This is how we have created the differences between the resistance and resistivity. So after knowing about the resistivity, let's move ahead now. The next point is resistor. See here, what is resistor? Okay, see here, I was giving an example of a vehicle moving on the road. That speed breaker, you can treat it as a resistor whose function, whose action is to oppose the flow of vehicles on the road. In the same way, there is a material. This is the circuit symbol of the resistor. Okay, you can see this like a speed breakers, right? Means it always opposes the electric current through it. Okay, why it is being used or it is being installed in the electric circuits? To oppose the current. Let's say a device and appliance need less amount of current, but the supply is more. So this resistor can be used to get the desired value of the current. Understand? So with time you will understand more better about it. Okay, we will be getting into that. And one more device we have got here, which has a variable resistance. Okay, this is called the variable. Its resistance will be fixed. The resistance of this device will be variable. For example, the regulator of the fan. Yes, you can change the resistance. Okay, there itself. Okay, it will be having a variable resistance, and it is called the rheostat. This is the resistor whose resistance will be fixed. Okay, now these resistors are used in the circuits, okay, in two different ways. There are two different ways in which these resistors have been used in the circuits. So we will talk about that. The first one is that, okay, first one is series. Okay, first one is series combination of resistors. Look here. Look children here. This is the symbol of resistor. Okay. I am talking about the series combination of resistor. So in that what happened? We'll take number of resistor and this is how they will be connected. You can see this is called the series combination. So how do you define what is the series combination of resistor? When number of resistors are connected end to end, one after another, okay, they are called This combination is called series combination of resistor. So I'll just name them as a R1, R2 and R3. See here, children, remember when the number of resistors are in series. Okay, now I will connect it to the one circuit here. I will take a battery. I will take also ammeter. See, ammeter is an instrument that is used in the circuit to measure the current measuring instrument. It is ammeter. And to measure the potential difference, we have a device called the voltmeter, right? So now you see, you know that current flows from positive terminal to the negative terminal. Okay, so now the same current will start flowing from all the resistors. Okay, what current is here? The same current, because there is no another way to flow. Okay, there is only one path for the flow of electrons for the electricity. So what happened? Same current flows through the all R1, R2 and R3. What exactly I mean to tell you is, whenever you find the number of devices or the appliances or resistors are in series, remember that same amount of current flows through each of them. Okay, since there is no another pathway. Okay, now one more thing here. When they are connected in series, what happened? Same current will flow through each of them, but the potential difference, see here, I am connecting the voltmeter here to measure the potential difference across the ends of the resistors. Here potential difference get distributed, will get divided. Remember what I am saying, very important point it is, when the resistors are in series, same current flows through each of them, whereas the potential difference get divided, get distributed. So it can be tested using the voltmeters here. You connect the voltmeters, it will show the different reading here. Understand? Let us say it is 9 volt, the supplied voltage is 9 volt. Yes, means all together it will be 9 volt, remember. Means V1 plus V2 plus V3 together, okay, their sum will be equal to the supplied voltage. Understand? Whereas the same current flows through each resistor. So now, how do I write it? The supplied voltage V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Remember, this is the thing. Now, we know Ohm's law. Yes, according to Ohm's law, what it says here, according to Ohm's law, it says that V is equals to IR. Yes, so similarly I can write the equation for V1, V2 and V3. I can write for V1 as a I R1. Yes, V1 is equals to I R1. Yes, V2 is equals to I R2. V3 is equals to I R3. Yes, you can see same current is flowing through each of the resistor. That is why I have not changed I. Okay. Now these all values, what I am going to do, I will put into this equation 1. Okay. V is nothing but IR, means in place of V what I have write? I have to write IR. In place of V1 I write IR1. Similarly IR2, IR3. Right. Now take out the common here. Here it is. Here you can write. See here. Again here I is common. So R1 plus R2 plus R3. Yes. So I get common get cancelled out. What remains? R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus so on up to Rn. Yes. So this is the formula we have got here. Means whenever the number of devices or the resistors are in series, their resistance can be found just by adding up. Okay. Means let us say R1 is 2 ohm, this is 3 ohm, this is 4 ohm. So just go on adding up. You will get the total resistance of the circuit. Okay. Here it is, let us say it is 2 ohm. Here it is say 3 ohm. And here it is 4 ohm. Understand? So if I ask you, I want only one resistor in place of all the three. Okay, only one resistor I want. I don't want all these three. So what will be the value of that resistance? It will be sum of all the three. That is 2 plus 3 plus 4. That is nothing but 9. Means I will just have a 9 ohm of resistance in the circuit. That is called the equivalent resistance. Okay, that equivalent resistance in series is calculated using this formula. Okay, so remember children, whenever this bulbs, any devices or the resistors are in series, the total resistance of the circuit can be found by using this formula. Resistance in series is equals to sum of each. Okay, so this is a formula. Mathematically it will help you in finding the resistance of the circuit. Okay, now after knowing the series combination of resistor, now we'll get into the another one, that is parallel combination of resistor. See, the next point is parallel combination of resistors. Parallel in the sense here, in what way they are connected. This is one, this is another, and 3 we will take. Okay, this is called parallel. I will name them R1, R2, R3. Okay, now what is a parallel combination of resistors? See here, when the number of resistors are connected between 2 points, they are said to be connected in parallel. That's it. Now I will connect the circuit here, complete the circuit. See here, okay. Now again I will use a voltmeter here in parallel between these 2 points. Let us say the supplied voltage is 9 volt. Okay, see here, the current start flowing from positive to the negative terminal, right? So now the current which is entering into this point X has got 3 pathways. So in this case, what is going to happen? The current is going to get divided, right? Yes, since there are the 3 pathways for the current, so some current flow here, some current here, and the remaining current will flow into the last path. Means when the resistors or the appliances are connected in parallel, the electric current gets distributed, whereas the potential difference remains the same. Yes, the contrary is happening here. In series, what was happening? Same current was flowing through each resistor, whereas the potential difference got distributed. In this case of parallel combination of resistor, current got distributed, whereas the potential difference between the 2 points remains the same. So I can write here this total, the supplied current is equals to sum of current through each resistor, right? Now again, using Ohm's law, I can use, according to Ohm's law, I can say I is equals to V by R. Yes, is it V is equals to IR, so it can be written as I is equals to V by R. Then for I1 also I can frame the equation, that is I1 is equals to, voltage remains same, okay, by R1. Then similarly I2 is equals to V by R2. Then I3 is equals to V by R3. So all these things I will put into the equation 1. Upon doing so, what I get? I is equals to V by R, here it is, V by R is equals to I1 is V by R1, V by R1, V by R2 plus V by R3. So now take out the common, V is common, So we can write 1 by r is equals to, again v is common here, 1 by r1 plus 1 by r2 plus 1 by r3. So v will get cancelled. So what remain? 1 by r p we write because they are in parallel. 1 by rp is equals to 1 by r1 plus 1 by r2 plus 1 by r3. So this is the formula to be used to find the resistance of this combination. Means like what should be the resistance of what should be the only one resistor of the value of all the three. Like I can say if it is 10, r1 is 10, r2 is also 10 and r3 is also 10, is 10 ohm, 10 ohm each. So what is the resistance of the between these 2 points? So that can be found using this formula, okay, and whatever we get, that value of resistance we can place here, okay. So this is all about the parallel combination of resistors. Remember, between these 2 points, if you want to find the resistance, this is the formula we have got, that is 1 by rp is equals to 1 by r1 plus 1 by r2 plus 1 by r3. So in the next class we will try to complete this chapter. Till that, take care.